Do you need a preamp? The short answer is yes and no. Let's talk about it. First of all, what is a preamplifier? Today I'm gonna be using this model right here, Auteur Mark III by Black Lion Audio. But most preamps are very similar and work pretty much the same. A preamp does pretty much what the name says. It preamplifies the sound source before it hits the recording device or the speakers. You get it? It preamplifies the sound. You see, microphones have a really crappy output level. It all starts in these little thingies here called capsules. The capsules vibrate when they get hit by sound waves from a guitar or from drums or even from your wonderful voice. They displace air, making the air molecules vibrate, and these vibrations make that little capsule there vibrate, and that little capsule right there can translate these vibrations into electrical currents. And those electrical currents can be translated back into sound later on when you're playing them back. The problem is, microphones are really quiet translators. So we need a device that amplifies the sound to line level. Line levels are healthier, girthier, and much more desirable by recording devices. Yeah. And they're also much louder, and much more professional as well. But modern preamps don't only take mic level signals, they also take high Z signals and line level signals. High Z signals are what guitars and basses output, is a bit louder than mic level signals, but it's still quite crappy. Line level signal is already at recording level, is already ready to be recorded, so you don't need a preamp to record it, but you still can use it to get that little preamp taste to the sound. Preamps are all pretty similar. They have a gain knob right here. They also have a line input or a high Z input. As you can see, you can switch it right here. They have outputs right here, and you guessed it, it outputs line level signals. They can also give you 48 volts for condenser mics. They can give you a pad and a phase flip. Pads turn down the loudness of your sound before it hits the gain knob of your preamps, in case your source is too loud, like drummers. Low cuts cut the low end of your signal at the source. In case you're recording something like this little mandolin here that has no low end, you can cut it at the source and you don't have to do it later in the mix. And the phase flip just flips the phase of your signal. In case you're recording two signals and they are out of phase, usually like a snare top and bottom is out of phase, you can flip one and they're in phase again, which is awesome. Now, I know most of you know how to plug a microphone in or a guitar in into a preamp, but do you know how to plug in your preamp into your recording interface? Well, the first thing that a lot of people miss is that preamps output usually a balanced signal out. Balanced audio is a better way of carrying a signal through a cable because it has better protection against noise. And that's why you can maintain a better and stronger signal through the cable. But to do that, you need a balanced cable. Balanced, did you hear me? This is one of the most common mistakes I see people making, trying to connect the output of a balanced device with a guitar cable. That's a very big no-no. A balanced cable looks like this. You see, it has two little rings, which gives it 3 points of contact. Another kind of balanced cable are XLRs. You know these, right? You see, it has 3 points of contact in there, 3 little pins. So this is how a balanced jack cable looks. Remember it. A lot of people think it is a stereo cable, but no. Although they look the same from the outside, they're not the same inside. A stereo cable has 2 weak mono signals going through it, and a balanced cable has 1 girthy and juicy strong signal going through it. So make sure when you see balanced written on the output of your device, like your preamp, use balanced cables. Remember, 2 little rings to rule them all. Another common mistake a lot of people make is connecting the outputs of the preamp to the mic in of your interface. That's horrible, because we just learned that, guys, right? A mic level signal is different from a line level signal. So essentially, you're gonna be adding unnecessary gain to your preamp signal. And not only that, you're gonna be doubling preamps, so your signal is gonna go to 2 different preamps, and that's just completely unnecessary when you're recording. So depending on your interface, you're gonna have to connect either to the inputs labeled line, or in some cases, if your interface has combi inputs, make sure you set them up as line inputs, just like this, right here. A good little practice as well is to have your line gain always as low as possible in your interface. And use the gain up on your preamp to get the level that you need to record your sound, usually in between -12 and -6 dB. That way you make sure you're not adding unnecessary noise to your signal by using 2 different gain stages. So now you're all ready to go, but wait, if interfaces already have preamps, why do I need an external preamp? Well, you don't, but it's fun as hell to have one. First of all, there's a slight rise in audio quality, for sure. Interfaces are closing that gap more and more each year, but still, having a unit just to amplify your sound with big components and with a nice heavy build usually still gets a better sound in the end. Slightly better sound, but still better. And not only that, preamps have different tastes. Some are cleaner, some are silkier, some are warmer, some are more vintagey, many tastes. So mixing and matching different preamps can really add a lot of harmonic content to your mix right at the beginning. Nowadays you can kinda simulate that by using plugins, but the real deal still is a bit better. This black audio preamp here really jumbles things around because it has a really transparent front end and quite a funky back end. And what I mean by that is that it has a really clean input and kind of a more vintagey and warmer output, which gives me the best of both worlds really. But I should just stop talking now and show you some examples so you can decide for yourself what you like better or what you need. When the lights were down, we fooled around. When the lights were down, we fooled around. Now, is it a massive difference? No. But is it a cool difference? Yeah. I feel the preamp gives me more of a rounder bottom end, warmer bottom end, and kind of a more smooth high end without losing any frequencies. And it has a general nice saturation over it too, like a coating of saturation that I really like. Another cool application for preamps is that they can be the beginning of an analog recording chain. That means you can send light level signals to other analog processors, such as compressors, like this warm audio one here. And that's just a super fun way to record, with processing on the way in. In this example, I used the Auteur as my preamp and the warm audio bus compressor. Check it out. When the lights were down, we fooled around. So yeah, I think that's the main takeaway of this video. Do you need a preamp if your interface already has a preamp? No. Would your mixes get better by working on your mixing skills than buying a preamp? Yeah, for sure. But if you have the cash for it and you're looking for some fun, a preamp is a very cool thing to have. And it does improve your recordings a bit. It's really nice. They sent me this preamp to review, but I gotta be honest, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna buy it from them because I really like it. Please do not tell my wife, okay? But I just really enjoyed making this video with it. I did a bunch of recordings because I learned how to produce music in a studio with an analog desk and analog devices. I still enjoy having analog devices around me a lot. I still enjoy recording with things on the way in. Compression, EQ, all of that stuff on the way in. I'm not afraid to do it. So I really needed a preamp actually to be the front end of my recording chain. And I look forward to using it on my future recordings. So yeah, I know this format was a little bit different from what I usually do here, but I just wanted to be a little bit more educational so you guys could understand a little bit more of what a preamp is in a simple kind of way. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and press like here on my channel. I really need your help. Press all the other buttons around me. They help me as well in this world, and I see you all next time. Thank you and bye.